This video is sponsored by Win-Win Technology, your ultimate flight sim hardware solution, featuring the Orion HOTAS, current and future configurations.
Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing very well. It is the 21st of July 2021. We have a new patch in DCS, version 2.7.4.9632 in open beta. As ever, there's been hundreds of changes and fixes and stuff like that. I'm just going to go through here, as ever, the ones that I think you really need to know about. The ones in the blue boxes are going to take some more detail, and so I'll have separate videos on those. But everything else we'll go through now. So, starting with general DCS. Ground AI added NASAMS SAM system. NASAMS, National/Norwegian Advanced Surface to Air Missile System. It's quite a funky little thing. So, I'm going to click on Ground Unit. Click it there. USA is fine. Category, Air Defense. Type. There are 4 subunits. We have a C2 command and control type unit. Put that in, we might as well. And the next unit will be a search radar. And the next unit will be either of the launchers. One is equipped with AIM-120Cs, one with AIM-120Bs. Let's just go for one launcher with AIM-120Cs. Okay, and let's just set it up like normal. Let's make sure they're facing the right way, which they are. Let's spread them out like that so they don't shoot each other. That's pretty much all. In terms of range, the threat ring on here says about 8 nautical miles. I reckon it can fire a bit further, and so we're going to go and have a try now. Let's see what we can get out of it. We've got a high, fast plane coming towards it to give it its potential maximum or near maximum range. Here we have the units. There's the C2, the command and control. Here we have the search radar. All, you know, top quality modern meshes as you could expect from new units. And that's it. At some point it's going to fire at this guy here, who's going very fast towards it at a very high altitude. Oh, here it comes. I can see his little tip. Boom! Stop. It fired at pretty much ideal parameters at 6 miles. Wow, this is a terrible SAM site. I thought, it's crazy, isn't it? It just shows how useless a missile is when it's fired from the ground. I mean, this thing will go 88 miles we've got out of it. 88 miles fired from an aeroplane. And 7 miles firing it from the ground at a really fast, really high moving target. You watch it miss now. Give him plenty of lead. Give him plenty of lead. There he is. He's going to get shot. He's going to get shot. Boom. Well, there's the NASAMS. Ground AI added shield as customization for Flak 36 and Flak 37. 37 there. Look at it. No shield. We go to this additional properties. Shield. Shield! On to the Hornet. Now possible to slew the SLAM-ER cursor without TDC depression. So if you remember, you had to press and hold TDC depress and then use the kind of slew to move it up, down, left and right. Whereas now you don't need to do the kind of depress. Just makes it easier for everyone like that. I don't know why they've done it, but they have. Also, a corrected lack of Zulu time of day on HUD. So I don't know if you noticed, but in the previous version, the time of day here had been lost, and it's now back on the HUD. F-16C Viper restricted the launch of AGM-88 from stations 4 and 6. That is stations 4 and 6, and it's allowing me to equip the AGM-88C Hornet, but we cannot actually fire them. This is apparently how the real aircraft was. We had the actual lugs to be able to, or pylons to be able to load the missiles, but there was no wiring to actually fire them. So please don't forget that you won't be able to fire them from these pylons. Search altitude is now displayed on fire control radar in range while search mode. So the search altitude we've got here next to our TDC is 30 and minus 15, meaning that our current search elevation at that range there is searching between plus 30,000 feet MASL and down to a theoretical minus 15,000 feet. And if I moved it around, it would change obviously. And out of interest, as I hover over that target there, we can see that he is at Angels 7,000 feet, AMSL. Fire control radar, situational awareness mode, target elevation, and azimuth carrots were added. If I were to get this kind of SAM, a situational awareness mode lock, like that, then you can see we've got this guy buzzing left and right, showing the azimuth of our antenna, and this guy here buzzing up and down, showing the elevation of our antenna. Range while search target symbols on the MFD now have the history option. This is something we have in the Hornet, so let me just unlock this target in this case here. If I went to control, we've now got this option, target history. We can choose 4, 1, 2 or 3, defaulted to 3. This is the amount of radar sweeps, you know, it sweeps left and right, that the target can miss before it's essentially erased from the radar screen. So in this case, if the target was not illuminated within 3 radar sweeps, then it will be erased from the radar screen. Refresh rate is another way of describing it. Added HUD declutter options. So if we go down to here and use this switch here, which has 3 different options, and I try and show you what happens if I press it. Got furthest option, the next furthest option, and the next furthest option. So rejecting the most symbology, rejecting the least, and rejecting other symbology. Velocity vector / velocity altitude height. I think HUD mode switch position should enable a VVI vertical velocity indicator tape and change the bank angle indicator. And the changes, if you like, are added bank indicator with VVVAH HUD mode selected. So sticking with the HUD, if we engage our VV/VAH mode ping, we now have an added roll indicator. That's that guy there. Added vertical velocity scale with landing gear down. Also with our gear out, we also get a VVI, a VSI, vertical speed indicator. And then the funny thing is, we also get that, it's that guy here by the way, we also get that with our gear up. So I don't know why that's in the patch notes, but that's there anyway. Radar altimeter and low windows are now hidden with the switch set to off. Also our rad alt, or radar altitude, which is that guy there, radio altitude, goes when we turn the radar altitude off. Rad out off. Gone. Vertical velocity scale position adjusted. And finally the vertical velocity scale, which is this guy here, has apparently changed. TMS aft in ACM will now reject the target and give no rad. In dogfight or ACM mode, you can see I'm in dogfight mode here. I'm going to press TMS forward to acquire a lock. You can see I've locked that Antonov, Aleutian, whatever it is. Now if I press TMS aft, it will reject that target and it will stop the emissions of the radar with, you can see we've got no rad there. And again, if we want to relock and start the emissions again, TMS forwards and lock the target again. Mi-24P Hind. Several changes to the controls. The first thing it will do when you'll get in your Hind is this. Because all of the, surprise, surprise, all of the control buttons have gone. But us DCS veterans are used to this. So adjust controls, and the menus we now have, these have changed, are pilot, obviously for the pilot, the rear seat, the CPG aiming station, which is the aiming station that the front guy uses to fire his or guide his Sturms. What we used to be called the operator is now called the co-pilot / gunner, and the AI menu is still the AI menu. End of story. These have changed and you need to go and rebind anything. Is that annoying? Yes, suck it up. Added countermeasures access through the Petrovich interface. So bear with me, valued viewers, to get the Petrovich menu up. Remember, you press that button there. Then to command him, you use up, down, left and right there. So let's bring his little menu up. Ping. That press Petrovich left short once. Ping. We've now got access through Petrovich to the ASO 2V countermeasures panel, which we've needed for a long time. So to actually drive it, it is, if I get this right short to change series, up short to change interval, down short to change side, and down long to change type. Added heat blurs from the exhaust and added flames for the start of the APU. First of all, before I forget, we've now got modelled IR suppressors. So ping IR suppressor on, go in, and note the giant IR suppressors on the side, and hopefully we're going to get a flame. In fact, for the flame, I'm going to actually turn the suppressors off. Right, we've now got direct access to those exhausts. Right, let's see if we get a flame on APU. Nothing obvious. The APU's going.
I would assume it's
no.
Yeah, it's awesome on the very back, but
well, I didn't see anything. Maybe you saw something that I didn't see, valued viewers, but I certainly didn't see it. And the heat blur, apparently heat blur's coming out of the engine. I didn't see any heat blur either. So what?
Do you have your heat blur turned on?
Pretty sure. I'll go and check, but there is no heat blur there, is there?
Hog it. No, don't insult me like that.
Or is there? Is that my eyes? Is there heat blur there? There isn't, is there?
No, I don't see any.
Well, I don't think this is working, valued viewers, but I'm going to go and double check ever so quickly. Exit, just check I've got my settings on. System, heat blur, turn up to high. It's just not working for me. Maybe it's my graphics card or something, but I tried. On to the Harrier. We've changed the way the Mavericks work and added another Maverick. So we can still have 1 on pylons, 2, 3, 5 and 6. We've got an extra variation. We've now got the old F, the old E. We've now got the L, or the E2 as it's going to be called. The E is laser guided, like it always was, but it can no longer be used in conjunction with the T-pod. In fact, probably best if I get the source information here. It can no longer be used in conjunction with the T-pod, and therefore you cannot self-laser it. You will have to fire it onto a third-party laser. Next, F. This is the IR variant. This also cannot be used with the T-pod. It has to be used independently. It used to be able to work with the T-pod. It can't anymore. Otherwise, it's essentially the same. The E2 variant is a new one. It essentially replaces the function of the old E variant in that we can fire it on a buddy laser, or we can use it in conjunction with our T-pod. So we just need to get used to those changes. Updated route navigation. I've searched everywhere and I can't find what that is, sorry. Improved the sensor select switch, SSS logic and keybinds. Some change in the function and the bindings of the SSS commands. The sensor select switch commands, I think that is. From the adjust controls, we select the Harrier. We select, probably go here, go search and go sensor. Select aft, down, forward, left and right. It used to activate when you actually press the button. Now it activates when you release the button. So you press it down and then you release it, and that's when it activates, apart from the down function apparently. That's the change in the function, and for that reason apparently you need to go and rebind these, which I will do now. AGS-37 Viggen added an Imperial sticker cockpit livery option. From the main menu, options, special. Find our beloved Viggen, stand by, there it is. And customize cockpit, Imperial stickers. Okay, let's go fly. And in the cockpit now, the only thing we can see that's different is not the gauges haven't changed, but instead we get this weird conversion chart that says, for instance, flight level 40 is 4,000 feet, 1,200 meters. F5E Tiger 2, F5 cockpit engine sounds updated. And in the F5, let's push the throttle up and see what we hear. Sounds the same so far. Or does it? What do you think, valid viewers? Do you think that's different? I haven't flown it in like months. What do you reckon, gaming? Is that different?
Slightly. I think they just added more, possibly more bass to it, but
Roger.
They definitely did something to it.
Right, well, something's changed. There you go. Mariana's map added unique scene of the US Navy Hospital and Guam Museum. Syria. Improved city neighborhoods in Cyprus, Syria, Turkey and Israel. Updated scenes of the San Rafael Hotel, Luna Park in Ayia Napa. Added heliports, Bank of Cyprus, Skygate, Beirut, Sheraton, Grand Adana Hotel. And last for today, Normandy. Changed a whole bunch of stuff. Map, updated textures of the fields, colour, splat map, whatever that is in normal. Same with the airfield textures, trees, different types of trees there, I guess. Improved bridges, improved airfield scenes, fixed switch tree LODs, whatever that means, and increased the frames per second over the forest. That's the things that I consider you should know about. I'll cover the other things in a couple of videos, and that's us done for July 2021. I hope that was useful, and see you later.